So just over a year ago, when the comedy on this channel was about as dry as the Atacama Desert, I made an attempt to guess the driver pairings for the 2020 F1 season. And yeah, take a look. Yeah, that is why I'm going to put Ricciardo and Hülkenberg at Renault, and then Magnussen and Bottas at Haas. What? Hey there guys, and welcome to FP1, and today I thought it might be a good idea to give this another go for 2021. I mean, let's be honest, there's no way I can f this up as royally as last year, is there? A lot of seats may already be locked down, but there are still several spots up for grabs, and an even larger array of drivers who could fill those spaces. Now, these aren't just my opinions, so do let me know what you think down in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like on the video and click that red subscribe button if you haven't already. But now we've got my typical plugs out the way, let's get into my predictions for the rest of the 2021 driver market. So let's start then by filling out what we already know. Back in May, Ferrari told Sebastian Vettel to basically f*** off, confirming their 2021 lineup of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. This would create a knock-on effect, with McLaren acquiring the services of current Renault driver Daniel Ricciardo to race alongside Lando Norris for 2021. Renault were next to confirm that they were to f*** over their junior talent pool once again, with Fernando Alonso returning to partner Esteban Ocon for the newly branded Alpine team. Vettel would find himself landing at Daddy Stroll's door as Aston Martin confirmed him and Lance Stroll for the team next year, and Williams have also confirmed that their 2020 lineup of George Russell and Nicholas Latifi would also continue to work together for the next season as well. As for the rest of the grid, Mr. Porridge himself, Valtteri Bottas, has already been confirmed to be staying at Mercedes, and Max Verstappen has a Red Bull contract to keep him at the team until 2023. Though if we go by what we saw with Sergio Perez, contracts mean about as much as rich energy sponsorship deals. Bruh. So what does that leave us with then? Mercedes and Red Bull have a seat available each, and Haas, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo are yet to confirm either of their drivers for next year. So let's go through these one by one and see if we can complete the puzzle. The Red Bull Racing F1 team are infamous for telling their drivers to f*** off unless your first name is Max and your last name is Verstappen. And this year, at a quick glance anyway, it looks like it will be no exception, with Alexander Albon generally struggling for pace so far this season. Now, over the last few weeks, I have changed my stance on this several times, and it's changed again after the Tuscan Grand Prix. Alex Albon has finally managed to avoid Lewis Hamilton when running in the top 3, and now has a podium under his belt, and I'm willing to bet a hell of a load of confidence to go along with that. And add to this that from the outside anyway, he seems to have the support of the team. Now, yes, so did Gasly, but I kind of felt this is more genuine this time around. And if you think about the two other main candidates for that seat in Danny Kvyat and Pierre Gasly, both have been dropped from the team in the past, and from a PR point of view, sticking with Albon for another year whilst putting, say, a junior in the AlphaTauri car might be the best step forward. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean I don't think either Gasly or Kvyat don't deserve that seat. But if Red Bull have learnt their lesson from last year, it's that moving drivers around seemingly every 48 hours isn't going to get you a strong backup for our Lord and Saviour Max Verstappen. So I'm going to go with Alex to continue in that seat for 2021, but if the results don't improve, then prepare to see changes before the new regs hit the year after. So, from the Red Bull team to the current Red Bull retirement home, AlphaTauri. Now, this one, it's a bit easier as Gasly's been out driving that car and obviously getting that sensational win at Monza. This in turn has kind of put the final nails in Danny Kvyat's coffin. Now, while I feel Danny has probably been putting that car where it should be this year, he's just not been showing anything particularly special, and combine this with the fact that super license points might be scrapped next year due to a certain situation I can't mention because of monetization, and you've got a lot of Red Bull juniors that could step up and take that seat. And I've said this before, but the most likely option is for Red Bull to go with current F2 driver Yuki Tsunoda. Now, Yuki ticks a lot of the Red Bull boxes. He's rapidly climbing through the ranks and has a fairly aggressive driving style. His Japanese heritage also makes engine supplier Honda happy, with Kayumi Kobayashi being the most recent back in 2014. I do worry that Tsunoda can be a little bit too aggressive at times though, and personally I would give him a second year in F2 to mature a bit, but history has taught us Red Bull don't give a about that. So with Gasly and Tsunoda locked in at AlphaTauri, this brings us on to...
He does not smash my door, tell him that. If he doesn't want to come back, he better tells me now.
Has he just done that now?
Yeah, he smashed my fucking office door.
Haas. And this is a really tough one. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen have been paired up since the American outfit's second season in F1 back in 2017. But if I had to find a word to sum up that period of time, it would be, well, underwhelming. Now, 2018 in fairness was a better year, but everything from the team's relationship with their drivers to their relationship with their cars, and of course their relationship with their sponsors has been, well, shaky, to say the least. In fact, I'm honestly surprised the team haven't pulled out yet, and was even more shocked when they signed the Concord agreement for the next few seasons. But anyway, here we are. I'm almost convinced that Haas will go for an all-new lineup next year, with both K-Mag and Robro getting the boot. With big names like Nico Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez floating around, and then rumours that Ferrari now have control over one of those seats, the team could afford to go with an all-new look, with an experienced hand on one side of the garage helping out a young Ferrari protege on the other side. Haas taking a Ferrari Junior would also make sense, as the team could do with all the help they can get right now. However, whether you'd want Ferrari's help is currently another question. Anyway, let's look at that Junior seat first. Now, there are 3 drivers filling this one for me, with those being current F2 frontrunners, Callum Ilott, Robert Schwartzman, and of course Giuliano Alesi. Sorry, only kidding. Mick Schumacher. Now, if you go down the hellhole that is F1 Twitter, you'll know that all the rumours currently point Mick to Alfa Romeo, so that really leaves us with Schwartzman and Ilott then. And as interesting as it would be to see a Russian driver in an American team, part of me feels like politics could play a role in Ilott getting that seat instead next year. And remember that Schwartzman is just a rookie in F2 as well, like he could easily spend another year learning to improve his consistency, then stepping up to the top tier of motorsport in 2022. So that's one seat sorted. Now let's look at the other one. I said the lead contenders here would have to be Hülkenberg and Perez, and honestly, either of them could get it at this point. However, though I think Hulk is probably the better driver, Perez does bring in more money with his sponsors, and to be clear, that's not to say Perez is a bad driver, in fact he's far from it. Just gotta say that before the Sergio Simps decided to send on my comment section like an army of Karens. Hi, yeah, you are talking to the manager. Yeah, it's me. Alright, now off. So if we say Perez and Ilott take the seat at Haas, let's look at Alfa Romeo now. And as I previously stated, I think it's pretty clear that Mick will get the drive in place of Antonio Giovinazzi for 2021. Now, Gio's had 2 years in that seat, and similar to Kvyat, well, I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job. I don't think he's been setting the world alight, and it's about time that Ferrari start assessing some other options for the future. But that other seat is a bit trickier to work out. After the first 4 or 5 races, I was convinced Kimi would finally call it a day in F1. In fact, I made a video at this at the time, explaining that I thought Kimi's time in the sport was, well, pretty much up. But since then, he's definitely stepped up to the plate a bit, and now really looking like the stronger of the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers and taking home his first points of the season in Tuscany. Add to this that Kimi gives a lot back to the team as far as his technical feedback is concerned, and probably costs a lot less than someone like Hülkenberg, for example. So we go on a bit of a whim and say that Kimi will actually keep that seat again as long as Perez signs for Haas. Now I think Sergio could also be another good option for the team, and as previously stated, brings in a lot of dollar. Now it's a place where he started his F1 career as well back in 2011, so he's got links there already. But for now then, let's just lock Kimi and Mick in there for 2021. Now you may have noticed by now there's one seat I have left until the end, and that's of course Lewis Hamilton's spot at Mercedes. As of time of recording, Lewis is yet to sign a contract with the team he's won 5 of his 6 titles with, and with current team boss Toto Wolff taking a step back, could we see him suddenly announcing his retirement or moving to a different team at the end of the season? We also know that Lewis looks up to the likes of Senna and Schumacher as legends of the sport, so how poetic would it be if he decided to match his record of 7 world titles, then quit while he was ahead? Just a thought there. Now, realistically, I'm about 70% sure that Lewis will sign a new deal, but there is just that little guy in the back of my mind placing those seeds of doubt, so let me know what you think down in the comments. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this whole fiasco. Now it's over to you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, if you agree or disagree with my predictions, and yeah, we can get a good debate going on down there. And also, if you like what you see here, do consider subscribing to the channel and following me over on Twitter. It's at FP1Will, and all links to that will be down in the description of this one. But that's all from me from now. I will catch you tomorrow with my instant reactions to the 2020 Russian Grand Prix, but until then, have a good one.